Hello, fans, and welcome to This Day in Baseball, where we're going to bring you a full radio broadcast of today's game. And before we do that, I just want to thank Classic Baseball Radio, and there's a link in the notes where you can check out their full channel. They have many great radio broadcasts. And while you're listening to today's game, if you want to check out much more about the game and the players, look on the links below, and you're going to see links to player pages, the date the game happened, the year it happened, and the play-by-play. Enjoy the game, and check out the links while you're watching the game, and please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that every time new content comes out, you're going to get that firsthand. And thank you again for checking out This Day in Baseball, and enjoy the game.
Then on Saturday afternoon, June 16th, a Ladies' Day single game in the afternoon against the Cubs, and then a doubleheader against the Chicago Cubs here at the Polo Grounds on Sunday, June 16th. Then the Milwaukee Braves will come in for a Monday night game the 18th, an afternoon game the 19th, and a doubleheader on Wednesday the 20th. Right now, up here to lead off is Harvey Keene, who is playing third base today. He is a right-hand batter. It was his two-run homer that won the second game yesterday for the San Francisco Giants. Bob Miller goes into the windup, and the pitch, it's in there for a called strike one. Paul Pryor, the umpire behind the plate. Keene wears a big number 7 on his back. Fouls this one off to the right side. It is strike 2. Harvey Keene came to the major leagues as a shortstop and was shifted to the outfield by the Detroit Tigers. Bob Miller with the pitch, swung on and fouled back onto the screen. Keene stays alive. And last year, when Harvey Keene was traded over to the San Francisco Giants early in the year, manager Alvin Dark figured he'd try to install him there at third base to keep the big bat in the lineup. However, those plans went awry during the course of the season. But this afternoon, Harvey Keene is the man at third base for the San Francisco Giants. Bob Miller winds and fires. He checks the swing and takes it outside. It's 1-2. Willie McCovey is kneeling in the on-deck circle for the San Francisco Giants. There's a swing and a ground ball going through the hole into left field for a base hit for Keene. Thomas comes over up with it, relays it in, and Harvey Keene is out at first with a single on the ground into left field. And that brings up big Willie McCovey. McCovey has a season's batting average of 347. He has 7 home runs. Ever dangerous at the plate. Wears a big 44 on his back, left-hand batter. Just as deep in the batter's box as the law allows. Miller is into the stretch, and Keene leads at first. The pitch is inside for ball 1. You wonder how it is that the Giants score so many runs. Look at these batting averages in the lineup. Harvey Keene, 309. Willie McCovey, 347. Willie Mays, 311. Orlando Cepeda, 344. Felipe Alou, 346. That's the way it goes. Pitch in there, or called strike. It's 1-1. It is in there for a called strike 2. McCovey steps back out of the batter's box. Now comes back in with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Throw over is not in time. McCovey is batting 347. Of course, he has appeared in only 25 games and has been at that only 49 times. Playing a foul ball upstairs in the back and out of play. Among the Giants that you would term regulars, Felipe Alou has moved to the head of the class. He moved 2 points ahead of Orlando Cepeda yesterday. Philippe Alou is batting .346, and Orlando Cepeda is batting .344. That was a tight pitch, and it's 2-2. Howard Stoneham, the owner of the Giants, who for so very many years surveyed the ball games from his office in the center field clubhouse here at the Polo Grounds, is in the box just to the left of the visitors' dugout, watching the ball game this afternoon, along with Eddie Brannick of the Giants staff. 2-2 to count. Pitch is cut on. It's a ground ball. Taken by Thornberry. He goes to Chacon for the fourth. There's no relay. They got the fourth at second. So McCovey becomes the base runner. As Keane is retired from Miles Thornberry to Elio Chacon, from first to short. And Willie Mays is coming up. As usual, a tumultuous welcome and reaction to Willie Mays. It is not an unmixed reaction. Mays has the batting average up to .311, leads the major leagues in home runs with 18. Curveball caught a corner, and it's strike one call to Willie Mays. Willie's been a busy man since he came back to New York with the San Francisco Giants this week. Pitch is low for a ball. Before the ball game, during batting practice, a longtime friend of Willie said, I left a message for you yesterday. You never called back. What's the matter? Willie said, man, this is New York. Who's got time to call back? It's 1-1. Pitch is low for a ball. 2-1 to count now to Willie Mays. When Willie came out to the batting cage, he came from the dugout, and manager Alvin Dark walked him right up to the cage. A couple of the writers standing nearby said, do they convoy him up to the cage now? At the change of speed, he got it in there for a called strike. It's 2-2. Let up pitch. Somebody standing nearby said the one place that you do not have to convoy Willie is to the batting cage. You could turn him out of the subway at midnight. He could find the batter's cage. No trouble finding the plate. 2-2 pitch. Cut on him. He struck him out. He struck him out. As a matter of fact, Willie dropped the bat as he came on around. He struck him out on a curveball. McCovey holding it first, and Orlando Cepeda is coming up, hitting .344. 52 runs batted in. Cepeda steps out of the batter's box now to look down to third to Whitey Lockman to see if there is a sign of any kind here. 2 men out, and McCovey is the base runner at first. There's a pitch high for ball one. Orlando Cepeda, now that he has been installed permanently at first base, is certainly the complete ball player. He can do it all. Curveball, cut on the ground ball to short. Elio Chacon has it. He plays to Charlie Neal for the fourth, and that's all. Cepeda has forced McCovey from Elio Chacon to Charlie Neal. And in the top half of the first inning, the San Francisco Giants got no runs on one hit, no errors, and one left. The end of one half inning of play at the Polo Grounds. The score is the Giants nothing, and the Mets coming up nothing. As we go to the bottom half of the first inning, the New York Mets will send up Joe Christopher, Rod Canneel, and Felix Mantilla. Joe Christopher playing center field. Yesterday, he turned in a couple of sparkling catches. One of them grabbed way back against the barrier in center field. He went as far as he could go, leaped high into the air, and pulled down the drive that was tagged for extra bases from the moment it left the plate. It was the drive off the bat of Orlando Cepeda. Juan Marichal is the pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. He's 24 years old. He has won 7 games and lost 3. He is now making his 4th attempt to win his 8th game of the season. And again, as happened yesterday, manager Alvin Dark has switched these outfielders after having posted the lineup. He is putting McCovey in left and Alou in right. During this series, he has had them both switch back and forth. They'll make it McCovey in left field and Felipe Alou in right field as Joe Christopher steps into the batter's box. Juan Marichal with a pitch has a drive going deep to left center field. McCovey's going back. Mays is going back. Willie has it lined up, and Willie makes the basket catch. Joe Christopher hopped on the first ball pitch by Juan Marichal and gave it a good ride way out to left center field. But Willie Mays stopped to make the catch. Now here is the right fielder, Rod Cannell. Juan Marichal was the first pitcher in either league to win number 7. He did it on May 16th over the St. Louis Cardinals 7-2. Since then, he's made 3 starts. That pitch is inside to Cannell. Here's a battling rookie who has managed to hang right onto this squad. He came to St. Petersburg to spring training on the roster of the Syracuse club, but managed to battle his way onto the Mets squad. That pitch comes inside, comes all the way back. There's no damage done. Tom Haller is catching again today for the San Francisco Giants. Haller's been the catcher in every game of the series. Caught him in both games yesterday. 2-0 to count to Cannell. Swinging a ground ball that is foul, fielded off the bag by Harvey Keene at third. But a foul ball will bring Rod Cannell back to the plate. Manager Casey Stengel likes the way this fellow battles. And that's why he's had him in there as a pinch runner. He's had him up there as a pinch hitter. He's had him all around. He's the handyman of the New York Mets, Rod Cannell, in his first year in the major leagues. Last year he played at Nashville in the Southern Association. He's a right-hand batter, wears the number 10 on his back. In there for a called strike. Cannell's batting average is 364. That's 12 for 33. As a swing to drive in the left field for a base hit off the bat of Rod Cannell. Willie McCovey over, up with it, relays it in. Cannell takes a wide turn at first and holds on. The Mets get their first base hit off Juan Marichal with 1 away. Cannell at first. Felix Mantilla, the third baseman, coming up. This is the first appearance of 24-year-old Juan Marichal against the New York Mets. Pitch is low to Mantilla. It's ball 1. Juan Marichal started pitching in organized baseball at Michigan City in the Midwest League in 1958. Won 21 games there in his first season. Went to Springfield in the Eastern League the next year and won 18. Had to change the speed in there. Called strike. It's 1-1. In 1960 in the Pacific Coast League, Marichal won 11 games before the Giants called him up, and he won 6 with the Giants. Last year, Marichal won 13 and lost 10 with the Giants. They're counting on big things for this fellow. He certainly started out like a house of fire this season. Pitch is outside for a ball. It's 2-1. Rod Cannell on at first. In his last 7 plate appearances, Cannell has 5 hits and 1 walk. That That is a big reason he is in the starting lineup this afternoon. 2 balls and 1 strike. The count to Felix Mantilla at the plate. Throw over, and Canil gets back safely. Sort of half diving back in, leaning in, and catching the bag with his bare hand. Cepeda holds against the runner at first. Marichal steps off the rubber. And as always happens, the crowd goes up from around the ballpark balk. Now he's back on the rubber, up into the stretch. He's running. Here's a swing and a ground ball to third. Keene has it. Can't go to second. Goes to first. In time he's out, but on the hit and run. Canil moves safely to second base. Time has been called. He went sliding in there safely, and Canil has called time now to get himself brushed off. It was a hard hit ground ball to third, and Harvey Keene fielded it clean. He looked at second, figured he didn't have time. Then had the ball hung in the webbing as he started to pound to first, but did get it to Cepeda in time to get Mantilla. 2 men out. Canil is at second, and Frank Thomas is the batter. Thomas has a batting average of 322. That includes 13 home runs. Games. The Giants had won 31 and lost 23. They were in third place, 2 games back of Cincinnati, and a game and a half behind Los Angeles. Today, the Giants are on top, 1 game and a half ahead of the second place Los Angeles Dodgers. Cincinnati's in third place, 5.5 games back. How Fred Hutchinson has had them going of late. And he'll take his lead at second as Juan Marichal is into the stretch. Wheels and fires, and he is safe at second because Hill has dropped the ball. Umpire Frank Secori had called Canil out as he dived back in head first. Hiller had covered the base, but the ball was dropped by Hiller at second. The out sign had been made by the umpire, but he is safe since Hiller dropped the ball. Frank Thomas, no counties yet, with the bat held high at the plate. Swinging a foul ball, back and out of play. It is a strike 1 count. And the official scorer has charged Hiller with an error for dropping the ball there at second, since the umpire had called him out. So charged Hiller with an error on the play. By Thomas at the plate. A strike 2 count now to Frank. Thomas swinging the bat. Waiting for a pitch from Juan Marichal. Canil leads off the bag at second base. There are 2 men out. Here's the pitch to Thomas. He checked it and took it low for a ball. It's 1-2. Paul Pryor umpiring behind the plate. Augie Donatelli at first. Donatelli is the captain of this particular team. Frank Secori is at second, and Tony Benson is around at third. Coaching at first for the Mets, Cookie Lavigetta. Coaching for the Mets at third, Sally Heeman. Here's the drive going out towards first base. Cepeda going back. He can't get it. It's off his glove, and Canil is coming home. Canil scores. Thomas holds at first base. It was a little fluke back over the head of Orlando Cepeda at first. He tried to get back and did get back, twisting back as he did. The ball hit his glove, but he was in no position to hang on to it. So it is scored as a base hit and a run batted in for Frank Thomas. As Rod Canil, off and running with 2 men out, came all the way around from second to score, and the Mets are out in front by a score of 1-0. Marv Thornberry is at the plate. 2 men on. Thomas at first. There's a pitch, cut on and missed to strike one. So the Mets have drawn first blood and lead here by a score of 1-0 in the bottom half of the first inning. Marshall's pitch to Thornberry. Misses outside for ball. It's 1-1. For the first time since joining the Mets, Thornberry yesterday started riding the ball for long distances out into center and right field. And the Mets hope that he is beginning to get the range. That pitch is low and away. It's 2-1. Throughout his baseball career, Thornberry has been a distance hitter. Pitch is high for a ball. It's 3-1. 3 balls and 1 strike now. To Marv Thornberry. Swing and a miss. 3-2. So with 2 men out, Frank Thomas will be moving on the pitch. Tosses the ball up into the air, grabs it with the bare hand, and looks in for a sign from catcher Tom Haller. As it, he's running, has a swing and a ground ball down the first base line, a little number that's going foul. Thomas has already turned second, is down in front of the shortstop. He's cuts across the infield, coming back to the bag at first on the foul ball. Just a little number rolling down the first base line on over into foul territory. Back at the plate now, picks up the bat. In the batter's box waiting. Thomas takes a good lead at first. He's running. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Cut on and missed, strike 3. He struck him out to retire the side. As the first strikeout for Marichal in the bottom half of the first inning, the New York Mets got 1 run on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. And so at the end of 1 full inning of play at the Polo Grounds, the score is the New York Mets 1, the San Francisco Giants 0. For the San Francisco Giants in the top half of the second inning, Philippe Alou is coming up. He has a batting average of 346 with 6 home runs and great speed. A right-hand batter. Bob Miller's pitch just taken high and inside for ball 1. A ground ball to the right side. Charlie Neal has it. He plays over to Thornberry in time, and Philippe Alou has grounded out. Second to first, and that'll bring up the catcher Tom Haller. He had 4 for 8 in 2 games. The starting of the day, Alou had 12 for 25 against the Mets. The 2 doubles, 7 runs batted in, and an average of 4. But they managed to get him the first time up today. And here's left-hand batter Tom Haller. Tall, rangy. Right-hander Bob Miller winds and fires, and there is ground ball to Neal. He's up with it. He plays over to Thornberry in time, and he's out. 2 away, nobody on. Coming up now, second baseman Chuck Hiller. Left-hand batter. Hiller is frequently used in the leadoff slot for the San Francisco Giants. He has that kind of speed and that kind of an eye. Hiller is hitting 263. Miller with the pitch outside for a ball. Bob Miller, 23-year-old right-hander, selected by the Mets off the roster of the St. Louis Cardinals, is a no-wind-up pitcher. He simply holds that glove and the ball in front of him when he gets the sign and goes into the motion to pump. And here he goes. Foul ball. Off to the left side, now to play. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Chuck Hiller with 2 men out and nobody on base for the San Francisco Giants, the National League leaders. Miller choked up on the bat just the least little bit. Again, Bob Miller's set. That pitch is high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike. Hobie Landreth is catching Miller. Hobie, of course, formerly played with the San Francisco Giants. Hobie also played with the Cincinnati Reds, the St. Louis Cardinals, the Chicago Cubs. Miller set to work. The pitch foreman has a ground ball going up the middle for a base hit. Joe Christopher coming over, scoops it up, relays it in, and Chuck Hiller is on with a ground single up the middle. That is the second hit of the day for the Giants off Bob Miller, and will bring up the shortstop, Jose Pagan. Pagan is hitting 255. He has 2 home runs, and he has batted in 21 runs. He's drawn 13 walks this season. The right-hand batter stands deep in the batter's box. Miller is under a stretch as Hiller takes the lead at first. The pitch, curveball, missing low and away for ball 1. Whenever the New York Mets have talked to other clubs around the league about trades, and they have talked to them practically every day, Bob Miller is one of the men that the other clubs mention a great deal. He is considered a fine young pitcher. Throw over. It's not in time. He was an expansion draft selection of the Mets off the roster of the Cardinals at $125,000. He was signed right out of high school by the Cardinals in 1957 in St. Louis for a bonus. He's under a stretch. Hiller leads at first. The pitch to Pagan. Swung out and missed. 1-1 the count to the Giant shortstop. Bob Miller in this series has been used a couple of times as a pinch runner. He's that fast on his feet. There are 2 men out. Throw over to first is not in time. Chuck Hiller gets back safely. Down the right field line, it is sliced, and it's a foul ball into the upper deck, just over the scoreboard, and the fan reached across and sort of helped it in. It's in foul territory. So it is a long strike, 1-2. Jose Pagan comes back to pick up the bat. Going to left field, but Mike Thomas just back in his underneath waiting, and he makes the catch for the out. Joe Christopher speeding over to back him up. But Thomas made the catch, and in the top half of the second, the Giants are out with no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of an inning and a half at the Polo Grounds, the score is the New York Mets 1 and the San Francisco Giants nothing. This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Tanner and Bob Murphy at the Polo Grounds in New York. And leading off for the Mets in the bottom half of the second, catcher Hobie Landreth. Is batting .324. He has 1 home run and what a home run. It was a game winner against the Milwaukee Braves right here at the Polo Grounds in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Juan Marichal with a windup and the pitch swung on a comebacker right back to the mound. Marichal waits, throws to Cepeda as he covers in time, and Hobie Landreth is grounded out, pitcher to first. 1 away, nobody on, and Charlie Neal coming up. Neal batting number 7 in the batting order for the Mets. Charlie's hitting .280, and he has 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in. The Mets 1 and the Giants nothing. The Mets run scored by Rod Cannell, driven in by Frank Thomas. There's a pitch in there for a call, strike 1. Defensively around the infield, the Giants have Orlando Cepeda at first, Chuck Hiller at second, Jose Pagan at short, and Harvey Sheen at third. Has a pitch for on, has a fly ball to right center. Mays is over, and Felipe Alou is over. Alou has it, and he is out. Charlie Neal flying out to Felipe Alou in right. There's plenty of speed between the two of them, Alou and Mays. cover a great deal of territory. 2 out, nobody on. And Elio Chacon will be coming up now for the New York Mets. A little battler with lots of speed and lots of life. Chacon gets the hand as he is announced. Umpire Paul Fryer's inspecting the baseball. He leaves it in play. 2 men out, nobody on for the Mets in the bottom half of the second inning. Marichal into a big windup. It goes high and tight. It's ball 1. Marichal goes into that windup. He gives you lots of arms and legs and fingernails, and he's all over. There he goes. He's in there for a call strike. Comes in with a big overhand motion there. 1-1 to count to Elio Chacon. Marichal winds. Swing and a foul ball. Back into the upper deck behind the plate. 1-2. Marichal's windup might best be described as sort of a flailing motion once he starts. He has appendages going all over. Bending way over to get the sign. Now here he goes. Pitch it high and away for a ball. It's 2-2. Comfortable afternoon for baseball here at the Polo Grounds. That pitch is second type is rocking back. It's 3-2. The count's out full. And there's a fine Sunday afternoon turnout here for the wind-up game of the series. There are some vacant seats out in the center field area. But other than that, the stands are filled. Swinging a foul ball coming back. But if you happen to be driving around and still wondering if you'd like to come by, there are seats. It is not sold out by any manner of means. Chacon is alive at 3-2, fouling that one off. The swing of the drive down the left field line. If it stays there, it's up there, and it is a foul ball by about a foot. It's into the upper deck right down the line and missed the foul pole by about a foot into the upper deck. Chacon coming back now, reluctantly. The count holding at 3-2. Chacon does not have a home run this season. He will not come much closer without getting one. So Elio is back now, waiting for the 3-2 pitch again. He's called out on strike. Caught him looking. So Marichal gets the Mets in order in the bottom of the second with no runs on, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. And at the end of 2 full innings of play, the score is the New York Mets 1 and the San Francisco Giants nothing.
Thank you, Lindsey Nelson. Well, it's a beautiful day for baseball, and the ball game 1-0 in favor of the Mets. Giants coming to bat in the top of the third inning. And Bob Miller taking his warm-up pitches on the mound as we're all set to go here in the top of the third. This is the final game of the homestand for the New York Mets. They move on to Philadelphia starting up on Tuesday. Juan Marichal, the first batter for the Giants here in the top of the third inning. On batting .286. He's a right-handed batter. He'll be followed by Harvey Keene and Willie McCovey. And Bob Miller into the windup, and the first pitch is a curveball that's down low, ball 1. Marichal started to swing, then held up at the last minute. Marichal, a good athlete. He's a good hitter for a pitcher. He has driven in 4 runs this year. There's a strike called as Miller comes back to his catcher, Hobie Landreth. 1 ball, 1 strike. Marv Throneberry at first, Charlie Neal at second, at short, Elio Chacon, and Felix Mantilla at third. That's the infield. 1-1 pitch. It off at the end of the bat, down towards Throneberry at first base. He takes it, ambles over to first base. Marichal not running hard at all, and he makes the play. 1 man down now, and Harvey Keene the batter. Harvey with a home run yesterday and won the second game of the doubleheader, a very exciting ball game. He sliced at the right field, taking advantage of the very short right field area right down the line. Harvey, 1 for 1 in this ball game, came in at 309. He's playing third base the first time he's played in the infield in this series. Before, he was used in the outfield by the San Francisco Giants. Bob Miller's first pitch is swung on and fouled straight back, strike one. This is Miller's sixth start and his 11th appearance of the season. He has worked 2/3 of an inning prior to this game against the Giants. He gave up no runs and no hits. He has no official record against them. No wins, no losses. A change of pace is low, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Mets lead it 1-0. So plenty of ones out there in the board. Back to Harvey Keene with a curveball. He watches it go by for strike 2. Bob Miller worked well his last time out. That was against the Dodgers on Memorial Day. He pitched 7 innings and he allowed only 2 earned runs, giving up 4 hits. The 1-2 pitch to Keene is down in the dirt, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller is certainly recognized as one of the top prospects the Mets have in the pitching department. He came out of the St. Louis Cardinal organization. He has yet to win one on the books this year, 0-2. Now the 2-2 pitch to Keene. Hit on the ground to second base. Charlie Neal is there, up with it, over to first in time for out number 2. 2 men up and 2 down, and the batter now, Willie McCovey. McCovey has had 3 hits at 8 times up in this series. 2 of the hits home runs. 1 to right field, 1 to left. Batting at .347 as he came into the ball game. He's a big fella, batting from the left-hand side. Six foot 4, 195 pounds. Miller's first pitch is a changeup that's down low, ball 1. Willie McCovey broke into the major leagues with 4 base hits and 4 times up. Has tremendous power. Miller back to the plate again with a change and just below the knees, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. McCovey is hard to pitch to because he's what they would call a spray hitter, but he has power all the way, both ways. And he's sort of a wild swinger. They try to jam him as much as they can, pitch him tight with a fastball, and change up a lot. He likes the ball out and away. 2-0 pitch, change up the tie. Ball 3, 3 balls and no strikes. So Miller now working to McCovey, falling behind 3-0, and the on-deck batter is Willie Mays. McCovey's the man he wants. He doesn't want to put anybody on in front of Mays. Giants are loaded with hitters in their lineup. They have good power to spare. 3-0 pitch, swung on, hit on the ground to Throneberry. He takes it on the big hop, throws the Miller covering to retire the side. For the Giants in the third, 3 up and 3 down. And the score at the end, 2 1/2 innings of play. The New York Mets won, the San Francisco Giants, nothing. Juan Marichal on the mound now, taking his warm-up pitches as we move along in the ball game. 1-0 Mets, bottom half of the third inning. And the Mets will send up their pitcher, Bob Miller, followed by Joe Christopher and Rod Canneel. In the first inning, the Mets picked up the only run of the ball game when Canneel singled to left field. He moved down to second base when Mancilla on a hit-and-run play grounded out to third. He was picked off second, but the second baseman dropped the ball, and he later scored on a bloop single off of the glove of Cepeda by Frank Thomas. So the 1 run unearned in the ball game. Miller the batter, batting from the right-hand side, and Juan Marichal into the windup. First pitch, a swing and a miss, strike one. Marichal, a record of 7 wins and 3 losses, is making his 4th attempt to win his 8th game. This fellow's had a very illustrious career. He's been a good pitcher right from the start. Again, a fastball, this time watched by Bob Miller, strike 2. Marichal broke into the major leagues with a 2-hit shutout after being recalled from Tacoma, where he was setting the league afire in the Pacific Coast League. Curveball, just about a strike. Home plate umpire Paul Pryor with his right arm about halfway up, and then he pulled it down quickly, just missing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Marichal in his first year in 58 led the league in victories with 21. That was the Midwest League. His next year he led the league in victories with 18 in the Eastern League. Swing and a foul tip in the catcher's glove, strike 3. Miller down on strike. Strikeout number 3 by Juan Marichal. In his 3rd year, Marichal was leading the league in wins when he was called up by the Giants from the Pacific Coast League. So he's been a winning pitcher. First year in the majors, he was 6-2. Last year, 13-10. He's one of the top pitchers in baseball. Now, Joe Christopher. Curveball that's just outside, ball 1. As Lindsey Nelson was telling you, Marichal has a big kick. He raises his leg high in the air. This is a new addition. He didn't do this in the minor leagues. He's added this to his pitching delivery. And it makes it difficult for the batter because it's hard to find the ball. He's been blessed with good control, and the big move doesn't bother him. Fastball through at the knees, strike 1. Christopher flied out to center field, batting 200. 1-0 game. Mets lead it. Bottom of the 3rd. Now the right-hander back to the plate. It's on the corner. Strike 2. Christopher watching. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch to Joe Christopher. Swung on, hit to right field. Moving back towards the warning track is Felipe Alou. He is there, and he makes the catch. So Christopher now out for the 2nd out, and the batter's Rod Canill. Rod singled his first time up and scored the only run of the ball game when Thomas drove him in with a base hit. Rod has had 5 hits and a walk in his last 6 times up. Casey Stengel using him in right field to keep him in the lineup. He's been red hot. First pitch is swung on and missed, strike 1. Canill over the top of a slider. Now the right-hander back to Canill. And a base hit if it stays fair, but it goes foul down the right field side. Canill behind, hit that ball off the end of his bat, looped it over the first baseman's head, it curved foul. So the count, 2 strikes and no balls. In Philadelphia, the Phillies have scored 2 runs in the bottom half of the 3rd to pull up on the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers lead it 4-2. Padres and Short in the ball game as the pitchers. Curveball, got him looking, strike 3. Advertised aside, the 4th strikeout picked up by Juan Marichal. In the inning, the Mets down in order, 1-2-3. And the score at the end of 3. The New York Mets won on 2 hits. The San Francisco Giants, none on 2 hits. Mays came into the ball game with a .311 batting average. He has now 5 hits and 16 times at bat right here in the Polo Grounds in his return to New York. 2 of the hits home runs. Willie Mays batting right-handed. Now in the batter's box as Bob Miller gets set to pitch. first pitch to Mays is swung on and fouled away for strike one. In the St. Louis-Milwaukee game, the Cardinals out in the first inning. Milwaukee batting. Gibson and Henley, the starting pitchers. In the Cincinnati-Chicago game, the Cubs lead 1-0 at the end of one inning. Grabowski and Kuntz pitching in that one. Williams had a home run. He's been red hot. He had 4 hits yesterday. Next pitch to Mays, way inside. Ball one. Mays had to scoot away. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Pittsburgh leads Houston at the end of 4 1/2 by a score of 5-4. Tiefenauer now in for Houston. Sturdivant pitching for Pittsburgh. Haddix and Burgess home runs in that ball game. That's the first of 2. 1-1 pitch to Mays is up high. 2 balls and 1 strike. Starting pitchers at Detroit. For Cleveland, Ramos. For Detroit, Mossy. Boston, Kansas City postponed wet ground. Washington won in the top half of the first. Minnesota batting now. Daniels and Kralik pitching there. 2-1 pitch to Mays. Swung on, full foul over the top of the roof. So it'll go as a long strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The White Sox at Baltimore leading 1-0 at the end of 1 1/2. Lazard going for Chicago. And for the Birds, it's at Estrada. Yankees are at L.A. That game hasn't started as of yet. 2-2 as Mays takes outside. A curveball missing low away. And the count goes full at 3-2. The on-deck batter, Orlando Cepeda. 1-0 game in favor of the Mets. Infield straight away for Mays. Outfield deep and straight away. Now the 3-2 pitch to Willie Mays. Curveball swung on and foul tipped into the catcher's glove, strike 3. And that's 5 strikeouts in a row for Willie Mays. Bob Miller now picking Mays up twice on strikeouts. And his last 3 times up in the second game of the doubleheader, Mays went down twice to Craig Anderson and once to Al Jackson. Here is Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda hit into a forced play in the first inning. 0 for 1 in the ball game. He came in at 344. 4 hits and 15 trips to the plate. And he takes inside. Ball 1. Deep in the box, the right-handed batter, and a curveball misses low for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Cepeda led the major leagues in home runs last year. There's a smash right at Manchin. He gloves it, and it was well hit. Out number 2. And now, while we wait for Felipe Alou to come to bat, we pause for station identification.
This is WGY Schenectady 810 on your radio dial, where the time is now 3 o'clock. The temperature reading a very comfortable 71 degrees.
To you from the Polo Grounds. Score of the game, 1-0. Favor the Mets. 2 men out in the top of the 4th inning, and Felipe Alou the batter. Bob Miller on the mound into the windup, and his first pitch to the right-handed batter is a called strike, a fastball through. Alou, who had quite a series against the Mets in San Francisco, has picked it up right here in New York. He's had 7 hits and 14 trips to the plate against the Mets right here. There's a strike call, strike 2. He's 0 for 1 in this ball game. He came in batting .346. He has taken over the club leadership on the Giants with his .346 average. No balls and 2 strikes. As Miller wheels and deals, and it's outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Infield not too deep. Ballou is a fast runner. They're playing straight away. The outfield very deep and straight away. The 1-2 pitch down in the dirt. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Miller trying to break a curveball off, put too much on it. Got it down in the dirt in front of the plate. On deck batter, Tom Holler, the catcher. Miller back to Lou with a curveball, swung on and missed, strike 3. So 2 strikeouts in the inning. Willie Mays and Philippe Lou to retire the side. And the score at the end of 3 1/2 innings of play. The New York Mets won. The San Francisco Giants, nothing. To do a refreshing Rheingold. You know, Rheingold just naturally goes with baseball. Goes with all good times because Rheingold has a taste all its own. It's beers should taste. And dry tells you why. It tells you that Rheingold is brewed the long, slow, costlier way for a taste that's brisk and bright and clean, clear through. Why don't you enjoy it now? Right along with the game. And the game now in 3 1/2 innings, 1-0 in favor of the New York Mets. Coming to bat for the Mets will be Felix Mantilla here against Juan Marichal. Mantilla, Thomas, and Throneberry, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th batters in the batting order. Felix rounded out to 3rd his only time up in the ball game. He came in batting .274. In the bottom half of the 1st inning against St. Louis, Milwaukee scored 5 runs, so they have taken a 5-0 lead. Cardinals really having the troubles winning the ball game. The Dodgers in the top of the 4th now lead 5-2 over Philadelphia. First pitch to Mantilla, called strike as Marichal comes in. Right here, the score of the ball game, 1-0 New York. Juan Marichal, through 3 innings, has allowed 1 run on 2 hits. He has struck out 4. There's a fastball that's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mantilla, right-handed batter. And the right-handed pitcher with the 1-1 pitch. With a curveball. And it's low for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Marichal back to Mantilla. A fastball swung on and fouled back in the screen. Strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch by the right-hander is hit out to right center field. Over there is Philippe Lou. He signals for it and he makes the catch. 1 man out and the batter is Frank Thomas. Frank drove in the only run of the ball game when he looped a single over the head of Cepeda. Cepeda got his glove on it as he ran back towards right field, but he couldn't hold it, and scoring from second base was Rod Canneel. So Frank, with 5 hits and 15 times at bat in the series, he's batting .333. He came into the ball game with a National League batting average just .322. Thomas right on top of the plate, batting from the right-hand side. First pitch to him, swung on and missed, strike 1. It's interesting to notice how the different ball clubs position their defensive players against Thomas. The Giants don't switch at all on him. They keep their second baseman on the second base side. The Dodgers move the second baseman over on the shortstop side. Play 3 infielders on the left field side of second base. There's a line drive, a base hit down the left field line. The ball's coming off the wall. McCovey's up with it. Thomas going for 2. The throw there, the fly, the tag, not in time. second base, but Thomas, with a good slide, beat the throw. Those 2 hits for Frank. And that's the 3rd hit of the ball game by the Mets off of Juan Marichal. A runner at second base, and the batter's Morris Throneberry. Was out on strikes, the first strikeout victim by Juan Marichal. He is 0 for 1. Batting left-handed. 1-0 game. Mets lead, and they have a runner at second base. Salahemus yells down to Thomas. 1 man out. Throneberry swings at a curveball and misses for strike 1. Big curve by Juan Marichal. Marichal doesn't look big in the mound, but he's listed at 6 foot. Weighs 180 pounds, and he really comes off of the top. He kicks that leg up and comes right overhand with a curveball as he works to the plate. The 1-strike pitch, again a curve. This one's up too high for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Giants with their double win yesterday. And the Dodger loss, the first loss by the Dodgers in 14 games, have a 1.5 game lead in the National League. The 1-1 pitch to Throneberry, fastball. He watched it go by at the knees for strike 2. A year ago, after 54 games, the Giants were 31-23 in 3rd place. 2 games back of Cincinnati, and 1.5 back of L.A. So the Giants doing better than last year when they finished high up in the race. 1-2 pitch, hit on the ground hard at second base, but the second baseman, Chuck Hiller, is up with the ball. He throws over to Cepeda for the out, and Thomas moves over to third. So now the Mets, with a 1-0 lead, have a runner at third base, and the batter's Hobie Landreth. Hobie's 0 for 1. He came into the game batting .324. Now he's down to .316. Batting left-handed. The on-deck batter is Charlie Neal. Marichal takes his time with his glove on his left knee. Now goes into the windup, and the first pitch to Hobie. Curveball right over for strike 1. Frank Thomas at third base. Harvey Keene at third, playing right even with the bag against Landreth. Thomas comes down the line as Marichal deals to the plate. A front attempt to stop by the pitcher's mound. Marichal is up with it. Throws the first base in time to get Landreth. Hobie trying to cross up the defense, tried to beat out a bunt with Thomas on third, but he couldn't quite hit it hard enough to get it by the pitcher. In the inning for the Mets, no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors. 1 man left in the score. At the end of 4, the New York Mets won. The San Francisco Giants, nothing.
First, then the Giants. And of course, there are going to be lots of big events coming up. For instance, today closes the current homestand, but the Mets will be back here on June 15th to open up a series against the Chicago Cubs. And on Saturday, June 16th, there's a special treat for Mets fans because Saturday, June 16th, has been designated as Camera Day. From 12 noon until 12:45 on that day, before the game with the Cubs, any shutterbug may come to the field boxes and have any of the players pose. There will be many valuable prizes for the best pictures. So come on the 16th and bring your camera and get here by 12 noon, and for a 45-minute period from 12 until 12:45, you can come right down to the field boxes right behind the barrier. And the players will be along there in front of the barrier, and you can have them pose all around for all sorts of pictures, and then there'll be prizes for the cameraman who comes up with the best picture. The date, once again, Saturday, June 16th. going now to the top half of the fifth inning. And Tom Haller will be up to lead off for the San Francisco Giants, followed by Chuck Hiller and Jose Pagan. Looking quickly at scores, at the end of 3.5 now in the National League. It is the Dodgers 5. They've scored in every inning, and the Phillies 2. Padres started against McLeish. Chris Short relieved McLeish in the second inning. Tony Gonzalez homered in the third with 1 on to account for the 2 Philly runs. And at the end of an inning and a half now, the Braves 5 and the Cardinals nothing. Gibson against Henley. At the end of 2 innings, the Cubs 1, Cincinnati Reds nothing. Dravosky against Kuntz. And at the end of 5.5, it is Houston 5 and the Pittsburgh Pirates 5. Here's the pitch, and it's coming in there high to Tom Haller. Tall left-hand batter. He grounded out, second to first in the top half of the second inning. Bob Miller working for the New York Mets. Doesn't wind up, he just pumps. That pitch is outside. The American League, all single games today. And at the end of an inning and a half, the Tigers lead the Indians 1-0. Ramos against Mossy. Boston at Kansas City postponed because of wet ground. Washington won the Minnesota Twins nothing at the end of an inning and a half. White Sox won the Orioles nothing at the end of 2.5. The Yankees play the Angels on the coast, the latest start. It's in there for a called strike to Haller. Mets leading by a score of 1-0 as we go to the top half of the fifth. And here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. Wes Western is coaching at first base for the San Francisco Giants. And Whitey Lockman is coaching around at third as usual. Larry Johnson is the pitching coach. And Alvin Dark, the manager of the San Francisco Giants. Outside, and he walked him, and Miller's a little unhappy with himself as he kicks the dirt out on the mound. And it's the first walk given up by Bob Miller in this ball game. And he gives the Giants a base run in the top of the fifth with nobody out, and Chuck Hiller coming up. He's looking down to Whitey Lockman, the coach at third, to get a sign. At third base for the Mets, Felix Mancilla moves in just to the edge of the grass. Because the Mets have to defend here against the possibility of the sacrifice. Giants trailing by 1 run in the top of the fifth inning. Bob Miller, of course, will be working from a stretch position. Throneberry holds against the runner. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He took a full cut. There was no sacrifice on there. Of course, in this situation, the manager controls every pitch as far as the batter is concerned. Sometimes you take it off, put it on, take it off. And that is why the defense must be alert on each pitch for the possibility. Throneberry now has moved back behind the runner, not holding him on the second pitch after he saw Chuck Hiller take that big cut. Throneberry moves himself into a little better defensive position for a ground ball. Here's the pitch. It's pitch out. And he was not running that time either. He is digging in at the plate. Landis called for the pitch out, figuring something might be on it. It might be going on a hit and run. However, he didn't get going. It's 1-1 now. One ball and 1 strike. The Mets lead by a score of 1-0. He's running this time. Swinging the ground ball, full foul. They had to hit and run on that time. After Landers called for the pitch off, they put it on, and the ball was full foul by Hiller to give him a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jose Pagan kneeling in the on-deck circle to be followed by Juan Marichal. Bob Miller goes to the Rossenbach. Pitch is outside for ball. It's 2-2. Could have been a pitch out again. In Philadelphia, the Phillies got 5 big runs in the bottom half of the 4th inning. And they now lead the Dodgers by a score of 7-5. Paul Brown's coming to pitch for the Phillies. Here's a swing and a foul ball. They hit and run on again. As they had Tom Haller going on the pitch. Chuck Hiller fouled it off. Count holds at 2-2. In the dugout, Bob Neiman has a towel and is giving pitcher Juan Marichal the fan treatment. Now Neiman is relieved by trainer Bowman. Landreth walks out now all the way to the mound to check with Bob Miller. And they walk together back toward the mound. Still they are conversing with a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Paul Pryor, the plate umpire, starts out to see if he can get this convention broken up. And he does. Landreth turns, comes back behind the plate. Tom Haller leads at first base. Here's the 2-2 pitch swung as a drive out to left field. This is dipping in for a base hit. Frank Thomas gets it on 1 hop, holds it up, and that holds Haller at second. But a line shot, the second hit of the day for Chuck Hiller. And the Giants have runners at first and second. Nobody out, and Jose Pagan coming up. He's been up one time and flat out deep to left, and now the Mets must indeed protect against the possibility of the sacrifice. And Felix Mantilla comes in from third to check with Bob Miller on what they're going to do in case of a bunt on the third baseline. Who's going to take it? Who's going to cover? How are we going to play it? Because the Giants trail by 1 and they have runners on first and second with nobody out. At first base, Marv Thornberry is even with the bag. Number 8 hitter in the batting order. Pagan is at the plate. Bob Miller is looking in for a sign from Hobie Landreth. Haller and Hiller are the base runners. Here's the pitch. He squares the bunt. Fouls it off. It's strike 1. Jose Pagan squaring around the bunt. Fouled it off right down into the dirt. And it's strike 1 to him. Runners holding first and second. Manager Alvin Dark of the Giants had the sacrifice on that time, trying to move these runners along. Miller has the sign. He stretches, runners lead. Thornberry charging. Here's the pitch, and it's pitch out, and he was not bunting. He was not bunting. He was digging in that time. It's 1-1, so Landreth now goes out to check with Miller once again. On the first pitch, Manager Dark had the sacrifice on, and second pitch he did not have it on because Jose Pagan was digging in at the plate. So let's see about the third pitch. He swings and misses. Strike 2. He hits the full cut. No sacrifice there, so it's 1-2 now to Pagan. Bob Miller takes a tug at the belt. Pagan standing outside the batter's box for a moment. Comes back in. Juan Marichal is due up next. There's nobody out. This is a big man for Bob Miller to work on. 1-2. The pitch curveball swung out and missed in the bat. Goes completely out of his hand, and Paul Pryor says yes. All the way around. Curveball. That was low and away, but Pagan took his cut. That is strikeout number 4 for Bob Miller, and a big one for him in this situation. 1 away, and pitcher Juan Marichal is coming up. He's been up one time, and he grounded out to first base unassisted. Is a right-hander all the way. Miller again must work from a stretch position with runners holding at first and second. The possibility of the sacrifice still in effect here with 1 man out. Thornberry in on the edge of the grass. Here's the pitch. He squares the bunt. Bunts it off foul. It's a foul ball. Strike 1 count to Juan Marichal. Manager Alvin Dark trying to get those runners along. With the Mets leading by a score of 1-0 in the top half of the 5th inning. Playing the National League leading San Francisco Giants. Again, he squares the bunt. Pitch out. No throw. Hobie Landreth called for the pitch out. Had the arm cocked in case the runners were moving. They were not, so there was no throw, and it is 1 ball and 1 strike. Marichal had squared around the bunt. Thornberry at first base, charging on the pitch. Felix Mantilla even with the edge of the grass at third. There's a pitch. This time it is a fly ball going to right field. It's short right. Keneal's going to have to come on. It's in short right. Keneal takes it, and there is no at bat. Keneal still has the ball, flips it over to Charlie Neal. So the sacrifice was taken off. Marichal took the full swing. Fly to Keneal in short right. 2 men out. Haller still at second. Hill is still at first. And Harvey Keene coming up. This is the man who broke up the second game yesterday with a home run into the right field seat. A 2-run homer that won the ball game for the San Francisco Giants. Harvey Keene today, he has singled and grounded out in 2 previous trips. Big right-hand batter. Again, of course, Miller will be working from a stretch position. Keene is hitting .312 right now. Here's a pitch. Inside for ball. Hobie Landreth scrambling over there. On his knees if he dived for that one. Inside and low. Ball 1 count to Harvey Keene. Runners lead at first and second. Here's the pitch. In there for a called strike. Keene had a notion for a second. Flicked the bat and held it up. It's 1-1. 2 men out, runners at first and second. The pitch, curveball in there for a called strike. It's 1-2. Well, this curveball has been going exceptionally well for him in this ball game. Now Hobie Landreth calls time, goes halfway out. Bob Miller comes down off the mound. Check with Hobie. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Harvey Keene. Keene and Hobie were teammates last year. Now Landreth back behind the plate. Miller looking in for the sign. Here's a pitch. Well, and this strike three struck him out. Bob Miller getting himself out of what should have been a tough spot there with his 5th strikeout. And in the top half of the 5th inning, the San Francisco Giants get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. Bob Miller with a fine pitching performance in the clutch, and at the end of 4.5 innings of play, the score is the New York Mets 1 and the San Francisco Giants nothing. Now listen to... All right, we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning with the New York Mets sending us Charlie Neal, Elio Chacon, and Bob Miller. And right now, in order to allow our stations to identify themselves, we pause now for station identification.
You are tuned to WGY Schenectady, your New York Mets station. The time is now 29 minutes past 3 o'clock. The temperature reading is 72 degrees.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at the Polo Ground. Coming to the home half of the 5th inning, Charlie Neal steps into the batter's box. He has been up 1 time, and he flied out to right field. Juan Marichal with 7 victories to his credit on the mound for the league-leading San Francisco Giants. Pitch is in there for a call, strike 1. The Mets are leading by a score of 1-0 over the Giants here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. That pitch is outside for a ball. 1-1. In Pittsburgh, the Colt 45s and the Pirates are still tied. 6-6 going to the top half of the 8th inning. Pitch is high. It's 2-1 out of Charlie Neal. In Chicago, the Cubs got 4 runs in the bottom of the third. The Reds got 1 in the top of the fourth. So going to the bottom of the fourth, it's the Cubs 5 and the Cincinnati Reds 1. Milwaukee 5, the Cardinals nothing at the end of 3. Cardinals are having their troubles these days. Swinging a foul ball. Off the mask is catcher Tom Haller, and he takes it off to inspect it. Dodgers did not score in the top of the fifth, so going to the bottom of the fifth, it's the Phillies 7 and the Los Angeles Dodgers 5. Last night, the Phils broke the 13-game winning streak of the Los Angeles Dodgers, shutting them out. Swinging a foul ball off the bat of Charlie Neal, back onto the screen and out of play. It is 2-2. Chacon kneels in the on-deck circle as Juan Marichal works. At the drive, that's on a short hop to Hiller. He plays to Cepeda in time for the out. 1 away. The line drive, that Hiller short hop. Umpire Frank Secori at second base giving a safe sign to indicate that he did not catch it on the fly. And then the throw on over to Cepeda was in time. There is 1 away. And Elio Chacon coming up. And up 1 time and he struck out. And the Mets battling at the Polo Grounds in the wind-up game of the series and the wind-up game of the current homestand of the Mets. Here is a pitch to Slow. And the team could not have much better fan support than the New York Mets have had during this homestand against the Dodgers and the Giants. They have turned out in great numbers and with great enthusiasm. That pitch is high for ball. It's 2-0. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Elio took a riffle. It's 2-1. The Mets got their run in the bottom half of the first inning. Rod Cannell scored it on a hit by Frank Thomas. Pitch is low. Elio shortened up that time as though to push the ball down the first baseline. But the count to him is out now, 3 balls and 1 strike. With 1 out in the first inning, Cannell single moved to second on a hit-and-run play as Mantilla grounded out third to first and scored on the base hit by Thomas. There's a swing and a foul ball back onto the screen. 3-2 now to Elio. The hit by Thomas actually was a bloop back of first, and Cepeda went back, couldn't make a play on it, and Rod Cannell came home from second base. Here's a payoff pitch. It's low, and he walked him. That is the first walk given up in this game by Marichal, coming with 1 man out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And coming up for the Mets now will be Bob Miller. So with 1 away, it is the Giants who will have to defend against the possibility of the sacrifice now with the pitcher coming up. Miller gets a hand as he comes out of the dugout. Stops to get a bat from Joe Christopher in the on-deck circle. Talks to Christopher as he does. Starts away, says something to him, and keeps going on up to the plate, swinging a bat. Conference at the mound now. Cepeda is in. Checking with Marichal. Tom Haller is sent out there. Chacon has rid himself of the hard hat. And Bob Miller had gone down to check with Coach Solly Hemus. Solly wanted to give it to him word of mouth rather than depend on the sign system in this particular situation. Mets have a 1-0 lead, and Harvey Keene at third base is well in on the grass in anticipation, actually, of a bunt attempt. Cepeda's charging from first base. Pitch hasn't come off yet, and Cepeda's caught halfway down, and Marichal stepped off the rubber. That means Cepeda's going to have to go all the way back to hold against the runner again. Chacon takes a slight lead. Keene is standing sort of lackadaisically. Now he sharpens up. Miller squared the butt. Going to second is Chacon, and he's out at second base. Chacon was running on the pitch. And he is out at second base as it goes 2-6. Miller took the pitch for ball one. He was not bunting. Really, he was squared to bunt, but he did not try to bunt. But Chacon got the jump and took off. So now, 2 men out, nobody on base, and the count to Miller, 1 ball and no strike. He'll be swinging away now. Here is the pitch in there for a called strike. It's 1-1. Took the stride, but didn't bring the bat around. Marichal bending from the waist to get the sign. Now, into the big windup. The overhand throw, swing, and a ground ball going to short. Taken by Pagani. He'll have to cut it loose. He does. Just in time. He's out at first base. Bob Miller has good speed getting down to first base, and that was just in time to get him. So the Mets, in the bottom half of the 5th inning, go out with no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left. The end of 5 full innings of play. The score is the New York Mets 1 and the San Francisco Giants nothing. Why don't you enjoy a cool, refreshing glass of Rheingold right now, along with this game? Ground crew is out to get the infield in shape at the end of 5 innings of play. That's the National League rule. They come out and drag the infield for the continuation of the ball game. The New York Met battery has not come out yet. Hobie Landreth and Bob Miller starting out now. Miller, of course, was the last base runner. He's taking his time there to get his breath back. And as they come on out, we'll remind you that if you'd like to purchase a copy of the Met Yearbook, you can do it right here at the Polo Grounds. Any home game, the Met Yearbooks are on sale, 50 cents each. Or if you'd like to order a Met Yearbook by mail, you can do it that way. Address your request to Yearbook, Polo Grounds, New York, 39, New York, and enclose 50 cents for each copy of the yearbook that you wish. Throughout the season, when you make your plans to attend the games here at the Polo Grounds, day games, night games, any home games, keep in mind that the parking lots at Yankee Stadium are open for all the Met home games, as well as the parking lots here at the Polo Grounds. Perhaps you saw in morning papers reports on the progress being made at Flushing Meadow on the stadium that will be the home of the Mets in future years. Progress is coming right along. In the top half of the 6th inning, the Giants will send up Willie McCovey, Willie Mays, and Orlando Cepeda. Bob Miller, the starter, still working for the New York Mets. Great many newspapermen before the ball game were around, as they have been all week long, covering the Dodgers and the Giants against these Mets. Great many comparisons are being made by them between the Dodgers and the Giants. And it's difficult to compare the two teams. They're actually different in character. All right, to the business at hand. Willie McCovey, tall, rangy, dangerous, left-hand batter, with a batting average of 333 right now, standing in and waiting for a pitch from Bob Miller. Pitch is in there for a called strike. McCovey forced Harvey Keene in the 1st inning, and he grounded out first base to the pitcher covering in the 3rd. But he is a man who needs only one push of the big bat to ride the baseball. Hits him tight that time. It's 1-1 now to McCovey. The opening game of this series Friday night, McCovey had home runs his first 2 times up. Change of speed goes high. It's 2-1 now to Willie McCovey. Young right-hander Bob Miller shakes off one side. Now has one he wants. There's a swing and a foul ball backing out of play. We stopped before the ball game to check with Gil Hodges to see how he is doing with the injured leg. Said, how's it doing? He said, well, I can walk better. He's still in not much shape to run, but walks with less pain. He takes the heat treatments every day. He was in the whirlpool before the ball game today, giving that a try. It's 2-2 pitch to McCovey. It's high and tight. Ball 3, so it's out full. Hodges was the recipient of a trophy before today's ball game as the Player of the Week, so voted by the baseball writers and broadcasters covering the New York Mets. A ballot is taken each week, and Hodges received the trophy for the past week. It is swinging a foul ball on the 3-2 pitch out of play. Willie Mays kneeling in the on-deck circle. As McCovey steps back and then pounds the plate. Bob Miller looks around. Now appears in to get a sign from Hobie Lander. Has it. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. He struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Bob Miller. Willie Mays. There are cheers and there are boos, meaning there are Met fans and there are unreconstructed Giant fans. A pitch to Mays. Swung on, it's going, and it is going all up for a home run. Just missed going out. It hit the facade over the upper deck. It's a home run for Willie Mays. The score is tied 1-1. Home run number 19 for Willie Mays, who leads the Major League Combat Department. Miller looks around. Now appears in to get a sign from Hobie Lander. Has it. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. He struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Bob Miller. And here comes Willie Mays. There are cheers and there are boos, meaning there are Met fans and there are unreconstructed Giant fans. A pitch to Mays. Swung on, it's good. Deck. It's a home run for Willie Mays. The score is tied 1-1. Home run number 19 for Willie Mays, who leads the Major League Combat Department. He gets a hand as he comes back to the dugout. Alvin Dark leading him there. Players up and off the bench. Willie Mays with one swing of the bat. He just missed clearing the upper deck. The ball hit a couple of feet from the top of the facade over the upper deck here. So it just missed going over the rooftop. And it's tied up 1-1. With one man out and nobody on in the top half of the 6th inning, and Orlando Cepeda at the plate. Mays struck out his first 2 times up. Struck out 3 times yesterday. But unloaded on that one for a home run. And it was a home run from the second it left the bat. As the call strikes at Cepeda. Code 45 has scored 4 runs in the 8th inning to go ahead of the Pittsburgh Pirates 10-6. Swinging a foul ball off the bat of Orlando Cepeda, coming back and out of play for strike 2. Looks in first time with a count of 0-2. There's Cepeda. Pitch it low and away. Ralph Kiner yesterday was talking to Cepeda about the fact of his hitting after Mays in the batting order, pointing out that people in San Francisco say that actually Cepeda hitting after Mays tends to make a better ball player out of Cepeda. He tries to match whatever Willie Mays does. 1-2 the count to Cepeda now. Almost went but held up. It's blowing away. 2-2. Cepeda refused to comment on that. He said he didn't know. He just tried to do the best he could, which is a safe answer. Score tied here, 1-1 in the top half of the sixth inning. He is called out on strikes and Inuit. He turned and walked away from the plate. Curveball in there. That is strikeout number 7 for Bob Miller against the National League leading San Francisco Giants, and he was Philippe Alou. He grounded out and he struck out. Philippe Alou with a batting average right now of 342. Going down that Giant batting order, a pitcher doesn't get much rest. Going from McCovey to Mays to Cepeda to Alou. Called strike 1 to Philippe Alou. Most of the baseball writers before the ball game are discussing the Giants and the Dodgers with the opinion that certainly the Giants are the greater power team. Swing on a foul tip. Rolled away, and it is strike 2. The Dodgers would appear to have more team speed, perhaps better pitching, but there's no question that this Giant team will score a great many runs. Of course, they did last year. They have a great offense. Out, nobody on base. 2-strike count to Philippe Alou. Miller's set. Pitch is low and away. Hit into the dirt. Blocked by Hobie Landry. 1-2. Tom Haller is kneeling in the on-deck circle. 1-2 pitch. Swung out and missed strike 3. He struck him out. So that Bob Miller got 3 strikeouts in the inning, but gave up a home run to Willie Mays. That is strikeout number 8 for Miller. And in the top half of the sixth, the Giants got 1 run on 1 hit. The homer by Mays. No errors and nobody left. And at the end of 5 1/2 innings of play, the score is the New York Mets 1, the San Francisco Giants 1. And now coming right up, jazz variations on a favorite tune.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, not sweet, it's a dry flavor treat. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer? Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
Like the song says, people everywhere sing out, my beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. And dry tells you why. Yes, sir, dry tells you Rheingold has a brisk, bright, clean taste all its own. Discover the difference dry makes. Pour yourself a tall, refreshing glass of Rheingold Extra Dry. Enjoy it along with this ball game. Going to the bottom half of the sixth inning, Joe Christopher, Rod Kenneal, and Felix Mantilla coming up for the New York Mets to face Juan Marichal. The Cardinals have scored 2 runs in the top of the fourth. At the end of 4, it's the Braves 5, the Cards 2, Gibson against Henley. Going to the bottom of the sixth now, and the Phillies still lead the Dodgers 7-5. Harvey Keene leaves his position at third and is going out into right field. Philippe Alou out there is coming in. Alvin Dark is at the plate checking with umpire Paul Pryor with a lineup card. So Keene is going to right field. And this would be Davenport coming in at third, I believe. Harvey Keene has gone to right. And Felipe Alou is coming off the field. Could be Bowman. Ernie Bowman is a third baseman. Ernie Bowman is the third baseman. As he is taking ground balls now and firing them on across, loosening up the arm. So Ernie Bowman is at third and Keene is in right. If you're keeping a scorecard, put Bowman in there batting number 5 in place of Alou.
Now playing third base, number 21. Ernie Bowman, number 21.
Joe Christopher up to lead off. Well, that is something of a twitch by manager Alvin Dark. One might have thought that he would move Alou over and take Willie McCovey out of that outfield, but he did not. He took Felipe Alou out of the lineup. Here's a pitch to Christopher. Overhand curveball in there for a call, strike 1. So Ernie Bowman is the third baseman and Harvey Keene is the right fielder. That pitch is low and away. We had started to say that the Phillies are batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning, still leading the Los Angeles Dodgers by a score of 7-5. One ball and 1 strike count to Joe Christopher. There's a swing and a ground ball foul, fielded by Solly Amos on the coaching box at third. We've been watching Felipe Alou in the dugout, and trainer Bowman has been over there checking with him. He has been bothered with his throwing arm. It's caused him some trouble recently, and that could be the cause that Alou has been taken out of the lineup here. Suffice to say, he is out, and he's in the dugout right now. Juan Marichal winds and fires low to Christopher. It's 2-2. Alvin Dark standing there in the corner of the dugout where he has been so very much during this series, watching the proceedings out on the field. Christopher took a look, and that is strikeout number 5 for Juan Marichal. 1 away and nobody on for the Mets, batting in the bottom half of the 6th inning. So that brings up Rod Canneel, who is 1 for 2. He scored the 1 run that the New York Mets have. Marichal's pitch to Canneel is taken in there for a called strike, a fastball. He checks and takes it low. It's 1-1. The American League at the end of 3. The Tigers lead the Cleveland Indians 6-1. The end of 4. The Washington Senators and the Minnesota Twins are tied 2-2. The end of 5.5. The White Sox won. The Orioles nothing. The Yanks are at Los Angeles to play the Angels in a latest start. He checks and takes low for a ball. Rookie Rod Canneel. Right-hand batter at the plate, waiting for the 2-1 pitch. It's on the way. Fastball in there for a call. Strike 2. It's 2-2. Canneel turns and walks out of the batter's box to get a handful of dirt. Felix Mantilla kneeling in the on-deck circle. Two-two pitch. Check swing, ground ball to the right side. Chuck Hiller has it. Placed at Cepeda in time, and Canneel is out. 2 away, nobody on for the Mets in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Score tied. The Mets won, the Giants won, and Felix Mantilla coming up. He's been up twice without a hit in this game. Mantilla's a right-hand batter. Marichal with a pitch, curveball. It's dipped in there for a call, strike 1. Marichal set to work. Pitch is low for a ball. Frank Thomas has now moved into the on-deck circle for the Mets. Marichal bending from the waist to get the sign as it dips low. Here's a pitch high for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike to Felix Mantilla. Tomorrow's an off day for the New York Mets, and then they go to Philadelphia on Tuesday to meet the Phillies in a night game. Game time 8:05 Tuesday night. We'll be on the air at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Tuesday night. Here's a swing and a drive out into left field. McCovey's coming out, can't get it, falls in for a base hit. He spears it with one hand, fires it back in, and holding it first is Mantilla. Well, took quite a hop out there, and Willie McCovey had to use the big glove to get it way over to keep it from going past him. Now, with a runner at first, score tied. Frank Thomas is coming up. Frank has singled a drive and a run and doubled in this ball game. He's 2 for 2. Frank Thomas has a batting average right now of 330, including 13 home runs. He steps into the batter's box to face the young right-hander, 24-year-old Juan Marichal. Throw over, and Mantilla gets back safely. Orlando Cepeda playing a little cat and mouse with him. They're holding the ball on him as he's trying to regain his balance. That pitch misses outside to Thomas. Fastball fired. 1 ball and no strike. Throw over to first. It's not in time. And again, Cepeda is holding the ball on Mantilla. He gets up. Argue down to Terry at first, giving the safe signal 2 or 3 times. Look under the stretch. Still in it. Steps off the rubber. Now again. Here's the pitch to Thomas. Low and away. Comes in there with that big overhand motion. It's 2 balls and no strike to Frank Thomas. First. Pitch to Thomas. Swung on. It's a high fly ball to left field. McCovey's coming in. Pagan is going out. And Pagan calls and makes the catch to retire the side. So in the bottom half of the 6th inning, the New York Mets got no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 6 full innings to play, the score is the San Francisco Giants 1, the New York Mets 1. And right now...
In the 7th inning, Tom Haller will be leading off against Bob Miller. Outstanding mound duel going between Juan Marichal and Bob Miller. 2 young right-handers with fine arms who, it would seem, would have quite a future out in front of them. Now the hitter is Tom Haller. He has been up twice, grounded out second to first, and drawn a walk. Haller, a big fellow with power, and they play him around the right. Elio Chacon pulling over almost behind second base. And Mantilla wide of third base over toward the shortstop hole. The windup and pitch by Miller. Curve inside and low. 1 ball and no strike. Giants tied the game on the 19th homer of the year by Willie Mays in the 6th inning. Willie now has hit 3 in the series. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tom Haller. Haller hitting at .246. Tom Haller, left-hand hitter, waiting. Lays off the fastball. It's outside. 2 balls and a strike. No game tomorrow. The Mets will be in Philadelphia on Tuesday night, and they play a twilight doubleheader in Philadelphia on Wednesday night. Next week will be a busy week in baseball for the New York Mets. Ground ball hit toward the hole. It's going through for a base hit into left field. Tom Haller hit that one against the defensive shift. They vacated the shortstop hole, playing him to pull, and he hit it back through the opening into left field. Now Marv Thornberry moves over to the mound to get together with Bob Miller as they discuss what might be coming up. The batter will be Chuck Hiller. Will they have him swing away, or will he be bunting? Paid attendance this afternoon is 34,102. They look for the bunt. He squares around, takes, and the pitch is in there for a call strike. This week here at the Polo Grounds, starting on Memorial Day, the Mets have drawn 197,433 people. Miller off the stretch, throws to first, not in time. So maybe Marv went over and said, let's see if we can't pick this fellow off. Game tied 1-1. We're in the top of the 7th inning. They looked for the bunt. A pitch out, but nothing was on. Thornberry bringing up the line to cover in the event of a bunt. Hobie called for a pitch out, thinking that they might have something on. Chuck Hiller has 2 for 2. Single to center in the second and single to left field in the 5th. Down comes the pitch to him, and he's hit by the pitch. A breaking ball, and Hiller is hit by it. Bob Miller coming down off the mound didn't seem to think that the ball hit the batter. And now the Giants have a threat with runners on first and second, nobody out. Bob Miller with a tough situation now. Runners on first and second, nobody out. For 5 days here at the Polo Grounds, starting on Memorial Day, the Mets average just about 40,000 a day. 197,433. Jose Pagan is batting. Thornberry coming up the line toward home plate, anticipating the bunt. Now here's Miller into his stretch. He's around the bunt, takes, and it's up high. A good stab by Hobie Landry. Bob Miller trying to keep that fastball up high with a lot on it to make it a tough pitch to bunt. And it almost got away. Standing motionless. Now has his sign from Hobie. The runners take a lead. Here's the pitch. He has to hit the dirt. Inside the high ball, 2-0. Sort of the crowd thinking that it was a knockdown pitch by Miller, but it certainly wasn't. The last thing he'd want to do in this spot is to hit a batter. What he is trying to do is keep that fastball up high, which is the toughest pitch to try and bunt. And a pitch that sometimes has popped up. Behind on Jose Pagan, 2 balls and no strikes. Game tied 1-1, top of the 7th inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Foul ball, that hit his foot and then spun out toward the mound. So they took the bunt off and had Jose Pagan swing away on the 2-0 pitch. But it's a foul ball, 2 balls and a strike. Pagan hitting at .254. Marichal will be coming up next. And then Harvey Keene at the top of the order. The Mets scored their run in the first inning on base hits by Rod Cannell and Frank Thomas. The Giants tied the game on the 19th homer of the year by Willie Mays in the sixth. Now the sign has gone to the bullpen, and Jay Hook has started to warm up. Now Miller steps off, but no throw is made. Here's the pitch on the way. The runners go. Ground ball slowly hit towards shortstop. Helio's got to hurry. The long throw. He beats it out, a base hit. So on an opposite field single by Tom Haller, a hit batsman, and an infield hit. The Giants have the bases loaded, nobody out, and Juan Marichal coming up. And now Bob Miller, who has such an excellent ball game, has to try and dig out of deep trouble. Pagan hit a slow, bounding ball towards short. The ball was hit so slow that by the time Helio came up with it and fired across, it was too late. Now the Mets will have to be on the lookout for anything here with the pitcher Marichal up, nobody out, and the bases loaded. Mantilla, even with the bag at third. Throneberry a couple of steps back toward fielding depth. Now Miller takes the lead runner. Into his windup. Down comes the pitch. Too high. The curveball failed to act up for him. Ball one. Now the strategy changed defensively, and the Mets bring the infield in. The infield pulling in right on the edge of the infield grass now. It's Miller winds. Here's the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Game tied 1-1. Giants with the bases loaded. Nobody out. Top of the 7th inning. Tom Haller, the lead runner, on second. Chuck Hiller on second. Haller on third. Hiller on second. And Pagan on first. Marichal, right-hand batter. Harvey Keene on deck, and then Willie McCovey. Now the 1-1 pitch. He lays off of it. It's just outside. That one didn't miss by much. 2 balls and a strike. Now Juan Marichal checks with Whitey Lockman, the third base coach. That's playing the infield in with Throneberry moving up. Be on guard against the squeeze play. 2-1 delivery. Foul tip. No play. Just barely got a piece of that one. And now the count is 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes to Juan Marichal. Miller cranks up. In comes his pitch. Inside and low. A curve that just missed. Now the string is out, 3-2. Full count, 3-2 on Marichal. Obie Landreth crouched behind the plate, gives the sign. Now the windup, the 3-2 pitch. He walked him. A walk to Marichal breaks the tie, forcing in Tom Haller from third base. Bob Miller, mighty disappointed when the pitch came in low. He could tell the minute he turned it loose that it was going to be a bad one. So it's a run batted in for Marichal. The pitcher walking with the bases loaded, and the Giants now lead 2-1. Bases still loaded, nobody out, and Harvey Keene coming up. Mets will have to keep the infield in. Harvey Keene has 1 hit and 3 times up. Harvey's batting at .312. Miller struck Keene out in the 5th inning with 2 men on. He's a tough man to fan. Here's the pitch to him. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Year in and year out, Harvey is among the top 10 toughest men to fan in baseball. Miller did get him in the 5th inning. Nothing he'd rather do than that again. Hiller the lead runner on third. Pagan on second. Marichal on first. Bob Miller out of his windup. Now the pitch. Strike 2 called, a knee-high fastball. Willie McCovey on deck, and then Willie Mays. Now Miller looking into Hobie Landreth. Hobie clenching that fist, saying, give it all you've got. Here's the 2-strike pitch. A line drive punched into right field for a base hit. Miller comes in to score. Pagan around third is going to come in to score. And the Giants have 2 runs in on the opposite field base hit by Harvey Keene. With the infield in, he punched a soft liner over the head of Charlie Neal and into right field. Under normal conditions with the infield back, that ball probably would have been playable by Charlie Neal. So the Giants have 3 runs in, still nobody out. And they go out in front 4-1. Nobody out, runners at first and third, and Willie McCovey the batter. Pitch to McCovey, a fastball over, strike 1 call. Jay Hook continuing to warm up in the bullpen for the Mets. Now the pitch on the way. Strike 2 called, a good fastball. Willie Mays waiting to bat next. Marichal on third, Harvey Keene on first, and nobody out. Now Miller into the stretch. 2-strike delivery, and the ball is popped up. An infield pop fly. Calling for it, Elio Chacon in behind the mound. Elio has it for the out. 1 away, runners at first and third, and here's Willie Mays. Willie hit his 19th home run of the year in the 6th inning to tie the game. He has hit a couple of real shots. His home run barely missed, going over the roof in deep left field. Willie leading the majors with 19, and he also has 46 runs batted in. Infield back at double play depth. The pitch by Bob Miller, a curve outside, ball 1. Now time call. Miller and Hobie want to get together. Three runs are in here in the top of the 7th inning, and the Giants have taken a 4-1 lead. The outfield back very deep for Willie. Miller up in pitching position. Delivers. Curve over, a good one. A call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Willie suffered a very unusual frustration for him when he struck out 5 straight times. His last 3 times up yesterday and twice today. But he more than made up for it in the 6th inning with that long home run. Way inside, he had to get out of the way. 2 balls and a strike. Orlando Cepeda waiting in the on-deck circle. Bob Miller hoping to get a ground ball now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball hit down to third. Mancilla fires to second. There's one on to first. Safe at first, and a run comes in. Willie Mays with that good running speed, running out from under his hat, beats the throw from Charlie Neal. So Willie gets an RBI as 47. The Giants now have 4 runs in, and they lead 5-1. Orlando Cepeda. 2 men down, Willie on first. Giants have scored 4 runs here in the 7th inning with actually not hitting the ball real hard. Swing and a miss by Cepeda, strike 1. Orlando Cepeda is the 8th man to hit here in the 7th. Throw to first, not in time. Willie gets back. Willie led the National League 4 straight years in stolen bases. Throw to first once again. Fastball in there for a call strike. 2 strikes now on Cepeda. Giants lead 5-1, top of the 7th. Now Bob Miller up in pitching position with a 2-strike count on Orlando Cepeda. In comes the pitch, a pitch out, but nothing was on. Obie Landra thought Willie might be going, and so he called for a pitch out. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now the 1-2 pitch. A line drive, base hit to center field. Bob Miller almost got his head torn off with that one. On his way to third goes Willie Mays. There was a ball that was really hit. A screaming line drive, and Miller had to hit the dirt in self-defense. Into center field with a base hit by Cepeda, and there's the first ball really rocked here in the 7th inning. Now Ernie Bowman will be up for the first time. Ernie Bowman came in the game at third. Harvey Keene went to right field, and Philippe Ballou was taken out by manager Alvin Dark. I believe Ballou's elbow was bothering him. So now the Giants have batted around. They have runners on first and third, 2 down. Ernie Bowman, right-hand batter. He's been up only 4 times this year. A soft fly ball to short center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Willie Mays comes in to score. The throw is to third, not in time for Cepeda, and Bowman goes on to second on the throw to third. Now this may be all for Bob Miller. Jay Hook has been warming in the bullpen. Casey coming out for the second time. A Texas League single on a 3-2 pitch into short center field for Ernie Bowman, scoring Willie Mays. So the Giants have 5 runs in the top of the 7th. They now lead 6-1. The Giants have 5 hits here in the top of the 7th. Only one of the 5, the line drive hit by Orlando Cepeda, was hit hard. Haller hit a ground ball the opposite way through the hole at short. McGowan beat out an infield hit, a slow roller to short. Keene punched a soft liner over a drawn-in infield into right field. Cepeda then hit the wicked line drive in the center. You can't hit a ball any harder than he hit that one. And now Bowman, a Texas League hit on a fly ball in the very short center field. And Bob Miller certainly didn't get any break. Now Jay Hook, the starter in the first game yesterday, is coming on in relief. Give Bob Miller a hand. Over the first 6 innings, he pitched brilliantly. He allowed 1 run on the homer by Willie Mays. He gave up just 4 hits. And he ran into a series of frustrating base hits here in the 7th. So here's the hand for Bob Miller. Bob Miller leading the game after hurling 6 2/3 innings. At the moment, he has given up 6 runs on 9 hits. He walked 2 men, struck out 8, and hit 1 batter. Giants were off to a good start last year, but not as good as the one they have this year. Alvin, who had a brilliant 13-year playing career, appears to be on his way to an outstanding managing career. And relating his top thrill in his career, of course, for Alvin Dark, he says it has to be the Bobby Johnson home run in 1951. Alvin, incidentally, got the base hit that got that rally going when the Giants were behind by 3. And that will be the theme of the Old Timers game here at the Polo Grounds on July 14th. Now Tom Haller is up for the second time in the inning. He got the 5-run inning going with a ground single to left field leading off. Jay Hook, with runners on second and third, winds and pitches. Inside of the knees, 1 ball and no strike. 5 runs are in on 5 hits. All 5 have been singles. Now Hook into his windup. Down comes the pitch. It's outside. Ball 2 to Tom Haller, 2-0. Orlando Cepeda on third. Ernie Bowman on second. Now Hook behind on the count to Tom Haller. His 2-0 pitch. A pop-up behind home plate, back toward the dugout of the Giants. Hobie is trailing it. He's under it, and he makes the catch to retire the side. So Tom Haller, the 10th man up in the inning, fouls out to Landreth for the third out. 5 runs on 5 hits, no errors, 2 left on. Now at the end of 6 1/2 innings, the score, the Giants 6, and the New York Mets 1. The 7th inning now, the Mets trailing by 5 after the 5-run outburst by the Giants. The Mets will have Marv Throneberry, Hobie Landreth, and Charlie Neal coming up against Juan Marichal. Marichal has been tough, has allowed 1 run, given up just 4 hits, walked 1 and struck out 5. Over the first 6 innings, Marichal and Bob Miller hooked up in a real good mound duel. Taken up high, ball 1. Here's the big windup. Down comes the pitch. A pop foul back toward the Giant dugout. Tom Haller digging in. He's going to have room. And he has it for the out. Throneberry retired on a pop foul. 1 away, nobody on. That'll bring up Hobie Landreth. Hobie hitless and 2 times up. Bounced out pitcher to first, then tried to beat out a drag bunt for a hit to get on, but was thrown out by the pitcher. So Hobie is 0 for 2. The Mets tallied their run in the first inning on base hits by Rod Keneal and Frank Thomas. Now time is called by Hobie, and he steps out of the batter's box. Marichal has gone into his windup and wants to know whether or not the pitch should count. But time had been taken by umpire Paul Pryor. Giants, a hot ball club. Good team, and a good team in a hot streak. They have won 10 of their last 11. Marichal delivers a breaking ball off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes to Hobie Landreth. Next pitch on the way. Fastball high, 2 balls and no strikes. Coming into today's ball game, Bob Miller in his last 8 outings only once had given up over 2 runs. And he had great stuff today. He pitched himself a whale of a ball game. Gave up just 1 run on Willie's homer going for 6 innings. A little bit outside, ball 3, 3-0. And it certainly would be something less than fair not to say that of the 5 hits by the Giants in the 7th inning, only 1 was hit hard. A strike on the inside corner, so Bob didn't get any breaks on it. A ground single to the opposite field, a slow roller, a poke into short right field, and a Texas leaguer. Fastball over, a called strike, 3-2 now to Hobie Landreth. Of the 5 hits, only that mean line drive hit by Cepeda was a hard hit ball. Shaw with that big motion. In comes his pitch. Fastball over, a call strike to Charlie Neal. Next pitch to Charlie, a ground ball, hits the shortstop. Up with the ball is Jose Pagan. On to Cepeda, and the side is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 7, the score now is the Giants 6 and the New York Mets 1. Now, while the teams are changing sides, let's pause for station identification.
This is WGY Schenectady, 810 on your dial, where the time is 25 minutes before 5 o'clock.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner from the Polo Grounds. We'll be going now into the 8th inning with the Giants in front, 6-1. The next time the Dodgers and the Giants come into New York, it will be on the 12th of July. The Dodgers will be in for a night game on July 12th. That's a Thursday night. Friday night, July 13th. Then the Old Timers Day game on Saturday, July the 14th. There will be a 2-inning game preceding the regular game that day. Of all the players who participated in that historic playoff game, all that can possibly make it coming back to play in the Old Timers game. The San Francisco Giants will be here at the Polo Grounds for a doubleheader on Sunday, July 15th, and a Monday night game, July 16th. Won't be too long until the Mets will be going back out to the West Coast. As a matter of fact, the Mets will play the Giants on the 4th of July this year in San Francisco. That doubleheader will start at 10:30 in the morning out there, 1:30 in New York. Now Chuck Hiller leading off in the top of the 8th inning. The pitch by Jay Hook is taken up high, ball 1. It's all over at Johnny Mack Stadium, and the Phillies have beaten the Dodgers 7-5. They came from behind to beat the Dodgers, scoring 5 in the 4th inning. Ground ball hit down the first base line. It's foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. A lot of hitting in that game. The Phillies had 7 runs on 11 hits. The Dodgers 5 runs on 13 hits. Chris Short, who came on in the 2nd, the winning pitcher. Paul Brown came on in the 5th and shut out the Dodgers the rest of the way. Over his head all the way to the backstop. 2 balls and a strike. Johnny Padres, the losing pitcher. So we have 2 final scores in the National League. The Houston Colt 45 beat Pittsburgh in the first game of 2 by a score of 10-6. And the Phillies with a rally beat the Dodgers 7-5. The Giants have a chance to increase their National League lead. A foul pop-up back toward the field boxes. Hustling after it goes Felix Mantilla, and he can't get a play on it. Say, if I were you, I sure know what I'd be doing right now. I'd be pouring myself a tall, frosty glass of Rheingold Extra Dry. You know, Rheingold is beer as beer should taste. Dry tells you why. Enjoy it along with the game. Now Jay Hook pitching 2-2. A smash hit towards second into right center field for a base hit. Line drive into right center. A clean hit for Chuck Hiller. That gives him 3 for 3 for the afternoon. He also reached when hit by a pitch. Giants leading 6-1. We're in the 8th inning, and the batter is Jose Pagan. Pagan beat out a slow roller to shortstop in the 7th inning. His infield hit loaded the bases. He's around a bunt, then lays off of it. Actually, Pagan came up in that 7th inning with the score tied 1-1, runners on first and second. Bob Miller trying hard to get him to hit the ball on the ground, did his job too well. He took a big swing and topped a slow roller to shortstop, so slow that he beat it out to load the bases. In comes the pitch by Hook. He squares around and lays off of it. Outside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. Braves leading the Cardinals 6-3 at the end of 6. Bob Gibson against the Braves' Bob Henley. Mets looking for the bunt. Now the pitch by Jay Hook. Swing and a miss. The runner goes to peg to second. The flag out at second base. Obie Landreth to Charlie Neal. And Chuck Miller is out at second. They had the hit and run play going. Pagan swung and missed on a real good fastball by Jay Hook. One away and nobody on now in the top of the 8th inning. Count 2-1 on the batter, Pagan. Pitch thrown by Hook. Hit down the right field line, a foul ball. This will go into the upper deck. With Billy Williams and George Altman hitting home runs, the Cubs lead Cincinnati 5-2 after 6 innings. Pitching 2-2. Change up is over. Strike 3 call. Bob Miller fanned 8 men in 6 2/3. Jay Hook now picking up his first strikeout. Now Juan Marichal comes up to hit. Marichal getting a hand. He's pitched a strong ball game. Swing and a miss on a curve. Strike 1. Marichal really swung at Hook's motion that time. Another slow breaking ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Foul ball back to the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Juan Marichal. In comes the pitch to him, a fly ball to center field, and it's deep. Back goes Christopher. He's getting there, and he makes the catch for the out. Marichal hit that one straight away, and he hit it hard. Side out in the 8th inning with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left on. And now at the end of 7.5 innings, the score, the Giants 6, and the New York Mets 1. Coming up now, a musical pitch with an interesting switch.
This is Tito Rodriguez for Rheingold's Extra Dry.
Rheingold and Brindis, perfecto. Para todos, familia y amigos. De sabor sin igual, la cerveza ideal. Tome Rheingold, bien fría y vera.
In Spanish, it's Magnifica. In English, it's great. In any language, it's Rheingold Extra Dry. Rheingold is good, longer and slower, for flavor that's clear through. It's beer as beer should taste. Dry till you want.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, not sweet. It's the dry flavor sweet. Want to try extra dry Rheingold beer?
Manny Mota will replace Willie McCovey in the outfield for the San Francisco Giants. Mota now in left field. Manny Mota in left, replacing Willie McCovey. Last of the 8th inning, Richie Ashburn is coming out now to bat for Elio Chacon. Ed Boucher moving out in the on-deck circle. He'll hit for Jay Hook. Left-hander Bill Hunter warming up in the bullpen for the New York Mets. Casey Stengel going to his bench now, trying to get something going in the last of the 8th inning. Marichal out of his windup. Here's his pitch. Inside and high to Richie. 1 ball and no strike. Now the pitch on the way to Ashburn. He takes all the way, and it's over for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. He joined us late. The paid attendance today is 34,102. For the 5 days, 197,433. Here's the 1-1 pitch. In at the knees for a call strike. 1-2 on Ashburn. Ritchie hitting at 344. Ed Boucher crouched on deck. He'll bat for Jay Hook. Marichal with a big motion. Down comes his pitch. And the ball is popped up in foul ground outside third. Ernie Bowman hoping for a play. Waved off by Pagan. It's Pagan who grabs it in foul ground over on the warning path. One away and nobody on in the last of the 8th inning. And now hitting for Jay Hook will be Ed Boucher. Ed Boucher, 11 for 71. Down comes the pitch. A swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 1. He had plenty on that one. He's still firing hard. We're in the last of the 8th inning. Marichal trying for his 8th win against 3 setbacks. His 7 victories have been complete games. Off the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the pitch on the way. Ground ball right back to the mound, fielded by Marichal. He takes the Cepeda, 2 men down. So the 2 pinch hitters retired by Marichal. 2 outs and nobody on. Now the top of the order for Joe Christopher. Joe hitless and 3 times up. Twice was flat to the outfield, and his last time up took a call, 3rd strike. Pitch on the way, a slow curve outside and low. 1 ball and no strike. Mets will have a new pitcher, Bill Hunter, in the game in the 9th inning. This was a 1-1 ball game going into the 7th. The Giants got 5 in the 7th. A fly ball hit to right center field. Waiting for it there is Harvey Keene. He moves only a step or 2 to take it for the out. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left on. And now 8 innings complete, and the score, the Giants 6 and the New York Mets 1. So we're going along to the 9th inning now with southpaw Bill Hunter coming in to hurl for the New York Mets. Let's check and see if there are other changes. Richie Ashburn batted for Elio Chacon. Richie, I believe, is going to go to right field. Felix Mantilla will move to shortstop. Rod Keneal moves to 3rd base. So Rod Keneal moves from right field to 3rd. Ashburn in the game, and right field Mantilla now playing short. And the new pitcher is Bill Hunter. Dodgers come back into New York on July 12th, 13th, and 14th. The 14th will be the old-timers game. Next homestand will open on the 15th of June, a night game with the Chicago Cubs. Cubs come in for a Friday night game, a Saturday Ladies' Day game, and then a big doubleheader on Sunday, the 16th. So while the Mets are out on their road trip, tickets will be on sale for the next homestand and all future Polo Grounds games. The advanced sales window on the 8th Avenue side of the Polo Grounds, as well as Grand Central Station, the ticket outlets there at the 42nd and Vanderbilt ramp, and the Long Island waiting room of the Penn Station. Down comes the pitch. Fastball over, a call strike. Harvey has 2 hits and 4 times up. His 7th inning single knocked in 2 runs. Foul ball off to the right, no play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bill Hunter now pitching for the New York Mets. Bill was acquired by the Mets from the Los Angeles Dodgers in the completion of the Charlie Neal deal. Hunter, a relief specialist in AAA the last 2 years. He's a fastball pitcher. The 1-2 delivery, a line drive hit down the right field line, and it is a fair ball bouncing up against the wall. Grabbed quickly by Richie Ashford. He takes to Thornberry. Keene has to hurry to get back to first base. Richie played the carom very well, denying Keene any chance he might have had to try for an extra base hit. The ball was hit hard by Harvey. A line drive down the right field line. That brings up Manny Mota for the first time. Manny went to the outfield, replacing Willie McCovey. Willie was 0 for 4. So Manny Mota is up for the first time. Right-hand batter. Pitched by Hunter. He tries to bunt. It's a foul ball. Mota hitting at 197 on 12 for 61. In the 9th inning, the Mets will have Rod Canillo, Felix Mantilla, and Frank Thomas coming up against Juan Marichal. Now Bill Hunter checks the runner at first. Then fires, and he's up high with a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Both Rod Canillo and Morris Thornberry charging toward the plate, anticipating the bunt. Now Hunter up in pitching position. He's around the bunt, lays off of it. It's inside and low. 2 balls and a strike. We're in the 9th inning with the Giants out in front, 6-1. San Francisco 6 runs on 11 hits. The New York Mets 1 run on 4 hits. Delivery. He bunts it, and it is a fair ball. He's out. The ball hit him. He got out of the batter's box, and the ball hits him, so he's out. Manny Mota is out. As he bunted the ball, and comes out of the batter's box, the ball hit him. So Mota is out, and Keene has to come back to first. Kobe Landers gets the put out. One away and 1 on now. The batter is Willie Mays. Willie has a home run and 4 times up. The homer is 19th of the year. Foul ball into the crowd. Bill Hunter checks the runner at first base, Harvey Keene. The pitch to Willie is taken up high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mays sitting at 307. Willie now has 47 runs batted in. He's moving up on his teammate Orlando Cepeda. Cepeda has 52. The 1-1 pitch. A high fly, twisting foul down the right field line. That goes up on the roof. So the count is 1-2 on Willie. One ball, 2 strikes. Morris Thornberry holds against Harvey Keene. And the pitch by Hunter. Strike 3 called. A fastball zipped right in there. Willie just turns and walks away. Well, Willie was struck out his last 3 times up in the second game yesterday. Has been struck out 3 times in this game. Cepeda has 1 hit and 4 times up. Now Bill Hunter into the slow stretch. Makes the 1 second stop. Here's the pitch on the way. A ground ball hit down to third. Rod Keneal is up with it. He takes to Charlie Neal for the force play on Keene that retires to side. Side out in the 9th inning for the Giants. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. So at the end of 8 1/2 innings, the score is the San Francisco Giants 6 and the New York Mets 1. The last of the 9th inning now. The New York Mets coming up against Juan Marichal, needing 5 runs to get even. Rod Keneal, 1 for 3, will be leading off in the home 9th inning, followed by Felix Mantilla and then Frank Thomas. Marichal, pitching an outstanding game, has given up 1 run, allowed only 4 hits. He has allowed just 1 hit over the last 4 innings and has retired 7 straight hitters. Well, it's been an exciting week, despite the frustrations of the setbacks. In the last 5 days, the attendance here at the Polo Grounds was 197,433. The Mets management appreciates the support of the wonderful fans and hope to justify the loyalty by improved play on the field in the near future. Rod Keneal takes ball 1. Last half of the 9th inning, Marichal comes over the top, and the fastball is in there for a strike. 1-1. Here's the pitch to Keneal. A line drive hit down the left field line. Will it save? There it does. A base hit. Bounding just inside the line. Keneal is going to hold on at first base. Mets trailing by 5. Rod will take no unnecessary chances on the baseline. So Keneal is on with a single to left. Boy, he's got a hot bat. That gives Rod 2 for 4. He had 4 hits in the doubleheader yesterday. And it brings up Felix Mantilla. Felix 1 for 3 in the game. Felix hitting at 270. Marichal delivers. Outside and low, ball 1. Now Marichal up on the pitching slab. Delivers to Mantilla. He takes all the way, and it's over 1-1. Felix will be looking him over very close, trying to get on in front of Frank Thomas. Breaking ball over, strike 2 call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Juan Marichal, 24-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic. Ready, in comes his pitch. And the curve is popped up not far from the plate. Tom Haller, the catcher, in fair territory. Now he goes astride into foul ground to take it for the out. Another pop foul that was hit almost straight up. One away, 1 on in the last of the 9th. Here's Frank Thomas. Frank has 2 for 3. And Frank has hit safely in 23 of the last 24 ball games. No game tomorrow. The Mets will be in Philadelphia for a night game Tuesday night and a twilight doubleheader on Wednesday night. Twinighter makes up the game that was rained out on Sunday the last time the Mets were in Philadelphia. Marichal delivers, and Thomas pops the ball up on the left side of the infield. Ernie Bowman, the third baseman near the line, is under it, and he has it 2 men down. So the Mets are down to their final out in the 9th inning, trailing by 5, and the hitter is Morris Thornberry. This is one whale of a ball game for 6 innings. Here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on a curve, strike 1. Rod Keneal on first. 2 men down. Line drive hit hard down the right field line. A base hit for Marv Throneberry. Rod Keneal around second will go on to third. Throneberry will hold at first. And now the Mets have runners at the corners. Base hit by Throneberry, number 5 in the game off Juan Marichal, and it brings up Hobie Landreth. Hobie hit listen 3 times, fly to center his last time at bat. Hobie hitting a .308 on the year. Giants leading 6-1. Around comes the arm, and the ball is a high pop-up down the right field line. Going back to Cepeda, also going back is the second baseman Hiller, and he makes the catch. The game is over. Chuck Hiller taking the pop-up down the right field line for the final out, and the San Francisco Giants have swept the 4-game series. They gained a full game on the Dodgers today, and now lead the second-place Dodgers by 2.5 games. In the ninth inning, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on. The Lions score on today's game for the Giants as they move 2.5 games out in front in the National League race. 6 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, and 7 left. For the New York Mets, 1 run on 6 hits, no errors, and 5 left. A strong 6-hit performance by Juan Marichal as he wins his 8th game of the year against 3 losses.